Nigel Bates is leaving EastEnders, but this isn't just a normal goodbye. This week, Walford is preparing to say farewell to Nigel in a heartbreaking dementia storyline, and things take a shocking emotional turn when Grant Mitchell suddenly returns. And honestly, it all starts to get very real, very fast. Because this isn't just about Nigel anymore. It's about family, guilt, and everything that comes rushing back when the Mitchells are forced to face each other again. Nigel Bates first returned to Walford back in December 2024, after being away for more than 25 years. For longtime fans, it felt like one of those proper nostalgia moments, seeing an old face walk back into Albert Square like no time had passed. He reunited with Phil Mitchell, and at first it felt like a simple catch-up between old friends. But very quickly, the story took a much heavier turn. It was revealed that Nigel was living with early-onset dementia, and from that moment on, everything changed. This wasn't about the past anymore. It was about the present, and how fragile it had become. Later on, Nigel's wife Julie arrived in Walford to support him as his condition slowly progressed. And what EastEnders has done really carefully here is show the everyday reality of dementia. Not just
the memory loss, the frustration, and the heartbreak of watching someone you love drift further away, even while they're still standing right in front of you. This is why so many viewers have connected with it, because it doesn't feel exaggerated. It feels real. Flashback. Grant Mitchell returns. Now this week, everything intensifies with the return of Grant Mitchell. And from the moment he arrives back in Walford, you can feel the tension building. Because Grant doesn't come back quietly. He comes back with questions, and very quickly he turns his attention to Phil. At first, Grant is furious. He believes Phil has stepped away from Nigel, that he's avoided visiting him, that he's let him down at the worst possible time, and he doesn't hold back about it either. The heartbreakable writing. But what Grant doesn't see straight away is what's really going on underneath Phil's behaviour. Because Phil hasn't just been ignoring Nigel. He's been struggling to cope with what's happening to him. Watching someone like Nigel slowly decline, someone who was once full of life and personality, it takes a toll. And Phil, in his own way, has been trying to deal with that without really knowing how. So when Grant confronts him,
he starts to understand that Phil's situation with Nigel isn't black and white. There's no simple right or wrong here, just difficult choices and emotional weight that's been building up for months. And that realisation changes everything. Because suddenly, this isn't just about calling someone out, it's about trying to understand them. Heartfelt brother moment. Eventually, the tension between them softens, and for the first time in a while, Phil and Grant actually sit down and talk properly. No shouting, no accusations, just honesty. They talk about Nigel, about how hard it's been watching him change, about guilt and regret, and the feeling of not doing enough, even when you've tried your best. And in that moment, something shifts between them. Not everything is fixed, but the anger starts to fade. As the week continues, the focus gently returns to Nigel. And EastEnders handles this part with real care. There's no big sensational twist, no dramatic shock for the sake of it. Just a quiet, emotional build towards his final moments in Walford, surrounded by people who care about him, people who have known him for years, and people who are now trying to say goodbye in their own way. It's not loud, but it